Hello all, and welcome back to Chimeric Gaming in the first installment of Naruto-Arena Character Analysis. This is where we break down the characters that were recently changed and give you the ups and downs of the character as well as our opinions. I have a team for this currently consisting of LuxEV, Naruto Rasengan 25, Garrick, Ghostsmith, and myself, Runefang. So let's begin with Naruto. We'll go over the face picture first. In the face picture, you can see it's much more vibrant and better looking than the previous, which sort of looked like this. As you can see, it looks blurry and ultimately not that great as the one that was placed down. So let's move on to the character description. Now the character description is the updated version and much more descriptive compared to the previous one, which looks like this. See, not very much at all. It just talks about how Naruto basically fights. So, yeah, it's kind of like, poop. So let's move on to the first skill. Naruto Uzumaki combo, or Uzumaki Naruto combo. Not much was changed about this skill at all. The only thing that really changed was, the picture. So, as you guys can see, it's less vibrant, blurry, and just more zoomed out than before. So with that, we'll move on to the next skill, Rasengan. Now Rasengan got an awesome rework. It went from stunning chakra and melee skills to stunning skills overall, which is super useful for Naruto as a character, and possibly he can be used as support. Here's a quick look at the old Rasengan. Yeah. So here's the stuff for old Rasengan. The pick itself looks really icky, and it just looks like blah. So let's move on to the next skill in Naruto's arsenal, Shadow Clones. There was only two things that were changed about this skill. One was the picture, which of course looks much better, and the classes that went from action to instant, which doesn't make much of a difference other than stun types. I'll show you guys the old picture. See, the old picture is blurry, not much else besides the class had been changed. So now we'll move on to the final skill, the invulnerability Sexy Jutsu. The only thing that was changed, the pic itself, is entirely a new screenshot from a different scene than the previous one was taken from. So here's the older one. As you can see, less vibrant, blurry stock, just like all the other pictures. Now, here's a couple teams you could test out with Naruto. Just take a quick look. And with that, we will now go to the verdict of my court. We had claimed that Naruto was balanced and useful. The character is definitely not lacking in the offensive department, though we kind of wish Uzumaki Naruto combo would cost a random in the beginning, and then move to a taijutsu cost when his clones are in play. His clones are decent, with defense having a solid 15 damage reduction. The Rasengan is absolutely lovely now, and now that the character fully stuns instead of a specific stun. Now let's move on to the next member of Team 7, Sakura Haruna, the medic of Team 7. Like Naruto, we'll start with the face picture. The face picture now captures a more serious look than the previous one that always reminded me of, "What the fuck can I do to you?" type face. To show what I mean, here's a look at the old one. See, look at her expression. She looks confused and just doesn't know really what to do at all. But enough of that. Now for her character description. It's much more descriptive, and it attempts to capture Sakura as a character. Unlike the old description, which looks like this. See, it's very bland, like Naruto's was. Alright, so let's move on to her first skill, the KO Punch. Not much was changed other than the stock got an upgrade. What I mean by stock is the picture. It's much more vibrant, it's zoomed in, much like the other pics. So here's a look at the old one. See, not much changed at all from the old one. The pic is blurry, not as much color, which is expected. Now on to the next skill, This skill got 2 changes. 1, the name was changed from Cure to Mystical Palm Healing. And 2, the picture, of course, got upgraded, zoomed in, and the color is more vibrant. See, look at the old one. See what I mean? So, with that, I'll just go on to the next skill. This next skill got the most changes, in my opinion. Inner Sakura. This skill got 2 major things changed. 1 was, of course, the picture, and 2, the skill itself went from reducing damage from 25% to just a solid 5 damage reduction. Now let's take a look at the old one. The pic is blurry, not as vibrant, and just really gross in my opinion. So, now, let's move on to the next one. So, this is the invulnerability. Not much was changed at all. Just the pic, really. And to be honest, I feel like the pic is just as bad as the original. To show you what I mean, take a look at the new one. And now let's take a look at the old one. See? It's just as bad. At least I think so. But there's nothing we can do about it. Now, here's some teams for Sakura for beginners to use. And now, we'll go to the verdicts. We had stated that Sakura was balanced and useful. Although having slight problems in her defense, being she can't heal herself in just 5 damage reduction, she's an offensive machine. With 30 damage and a stun, which is obviously amazing, for only 1 taijutsu. What she lacks in defense, and you know, boobs, she makes up with an epic offense. And finally, we come to the final teammate of Team 7, Sasuke Uchiha, the lone survivor of the Uchiha clan. Sasuke has the biggest changes in Team 7, and we'll go over them, starting with, of course, his face picture. The face picture now looks more serious, and the Sharingan is now activated in the face picture, which looks really cool if you ask me. It's a lot better compared to the old one. See, it looks really bad, just like the facial expression. Looks like he's lip biting. And like he's about to have hardcore gay butt sex with Naruto. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but for a fighting game, I do think it's inappropriate. So, on to the description. The description is much better, much more lengthy, and like the others, much more descriptive. Now I'll let you guys I'll give you guys a few moments to read it. Take your time. Alright, so much more lengthy than this one, the older one. This one doesn't take longer than, what, 2 to 3 seconds? Obviously, not very descriptive. Now, to move on to the first skill, Lion's Combo. Much like the other taijutsu skills from Team 7, not much was changed other than the picture. Like all the other pictures, less zoomed in, blurry, not as much color. So not much to say, on to the next skill. Chidori. This skill got a lovely rework. It deals slightly less damage for the simple cost of not having to use Sharingan. This makes Sasuke a lot more versatile without having the use of targeting with Sharingan. Though, if you want to deal more damage output, Sharingan is, required. So before we go on to Sharingan, let's take a look at the old Chidori. To me, the picture is absolutely horrible, though the skill did originally deal 40 piercing damage to begin with, but it also required Sharingan to be used. The new version is a lot better and more useful for Sasuke. So now we have come to another skill that got worked over as well, with some of the text changed. Sharingan. Yes, the bloodline of the Uchiha clan and the move that allows them to predict moves and, of course, copy them. Though not quite in this game for this character, instead it does, well, just give it a read. As you can see, the skill is useful, but not as much as you'd want it to be. Or at least I think so. I'll explain that part a bit later. The thing that was changed was the damage reduction. How long it lasts and overall effect has been simplified. So let's take a look at the older one. Now, I simplified it here to save some room. But overall, this skill and how it's used, I'm sorry. I simplified it, but overall, this skill is how it used to work. Take a few moments, look it over. All set? Not that great, right? Or maybe it is. Now for the final skill, Swift Block. Now, this skill got three changes. The skill's name, the skill's picture, and the skill's class. Sasuke used to have Sasuke's replacement technique, which was basically the generic invulnerability. If you forgot what it looks like poop. See? See what I mean? Total caca. Before we have the verdict, here's some teams for you guys to use. Look them over, pause the video. Alright, now we will move on to the final verdicts. Sasuke is balanced and more or less useful. He's more of a teacher character, and ultimately we consider him a bad character. The fact that he has to target a specific enemy with like Sharingan and to deal more damage, and it's basically useless without the right support, and maybe in some cases no support. He's terrible. It just makes him bad and, like I said, almost useless. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave some comments if you agree or disagree with our statements. Leave some likes if you like the series. And thank you for watching, and as always, goodbye.